What if the most famous family on earth, a symbol of national identity and storybook tradition, was actually a $28 billion corporation operating under a royal disguise? This is the story of the House of Windsor. They aren't just a family, they are the firm, and their wealth is one of the most brilliant and complex financial structures ever created. We're not just talking about castles and jewels. We're talking about a financial empire that includes vast stretches of the British seabed, prime slices of London's West End, and medieval loopholes that generate hundreds of millions in private tax-advantaged cash. Today, we're pulling back the velvet curtain. We're not just looking at their palaces, we're following the money from a secretive multi-billion-dollar real estate portfolio to the private feudal estates that fund the king's life. This is the story of how the Windsors built and maintain an empire of unimaginable and deeply misunderstood wealth. When you hear that the British royal family is worth an estimated $28 billion, you're only seeing part of the picture. This is where the illusion begins, because the family's single greatest asset, the $20.5 billion Crown estate, isn't theirs at all. It's not private property. It's a corporation's soul, held by the monarch in right of the Crown. This means King Charles can't sell it. He doesn't personally own its 1,000-foot-high stack of assets, which include London's entire Regent Street, vast tracts of farmland, and most bizarrely, almost the entire British seabed. For decades, this seabed right was a quirky footnote. Today, thanks to a boom in offshore wind farms, it's a multi-billion-dollar cash cow, generating hundreds of millions in leasing rights. Here's the genius of the system. The Crown estate is run by an independent board. All of its massive profits are surrendered to the UK government. Then, in a brilliant financial manoeuvre, the government gives a percentage of that profit back to the king in the form of the sovereign grant. This grant, currently set at 25% of the estate's income from 2 years prior, was £86.3 million last year. This is their salary. It's the money that pays for the lights at Buckingham Palace, the staff salaries, the official travel, and the multi-million-pound renovations. They have effectively turned a national asset they don't own into their primary government-approved funding stream. It's the ultimate corporate expense account. If the sovereign grant is the official salary, the duchies are the private off-the-books trust fund. This is the real secret to their personal generational wealth. A feudal-era loophole that has survived for centuries. First, there is the Duchy of Lancaster. This is the personal property of the sovereign, in this case, King Charles. It's a sprawling portfolio of land, property and assets, valued at over $814 million. This isn't in trust for the nation. It's the king's private income stream. It generates around $31 million a year, which flows directly to him to pay for expenses the sovereign grant doesn't cover, namely the lifestyles of other royals. But the real prize is the Duchy of Cornwall. This $1.2 billion estate automatically passes to the heir to the throne, Prince William. It's a massive commercial enterprise, a 130,000-acre portfolio that includes vast farmland, commercial properties, the Isles of Scilly, and even the iconic Oval cricket ground in London. Last year, it generated a $32 million operating profit. This isn't a salary, this is a river of gold that flows directly to the Prince of Wales. This is the money that funds his private life, his family, and his own charitable work, all while operating under a unique set of rules that have historically shielded it from corporate taxes. It is a modern business empire masquerading as a medieval relic. So, what does this king, with his estimated $2 billion personal fortune, spend his money on? Beyond the institutional wealth, the Windsors possess an array of personal assets that are simply staggering. While the crown jewels are held in trust for the nation, they are the ultimate symbol of the family's opulence. Valued in the billions, this collection of over 23,000 gemstones includes the controversial 105.6 carat Koh-i-Noor diamond and the St. Edward's crown, used in the coronation. They may not own them, but they are the only ones on Earth who get to use them. The family's private collections are just as breathtaking. The Royal Collection Trust manages one of the world's greatest art troves. Over 7,000 paintings, including works by Rembrandt, Leonardo da Vinci, and Michelangelo. Then there's the King's personal hoard. Charles III is the heir to a renowned stamp collection valued at over £100 million. He owns a stable of racehorses worth £27 million, a private art collection valued at £24 million, and a fleet of vintage cars, including his beloved Aston Martin, estimated at over £6.3 million. This is the personal, tangible wealth of a dynasty, separate from the palaces and the crowns. The most visible, awe-inspiring display of Windsor wealth is their property portfolio. These aren't just homes, they are sovereign territories. Buckingham Palace is the corporate headquarters, an 830,000 square foot icon with 775 rooms, including 52 royal bedrooms, 188 staff rooms, and 78 bathrooms. It's an office, a venue for state banquets, and a symbol of the monarchy itself, valued in the billions. Windsor Castle is the fortress, the oldest and largest inhabited castle in the world. It has been a royal home for over 900 years. Spanning 13 acres with 1,000 rooms, it was Queen Elizabeth's preferred weekend retreat and a secondary seat of power. But the real luxury lies in the private estates. Balmoral Castle in Scotland is their 50,000-acre private kingdom. Purchased by Queen Victoria, this is where the family escapes the public eye. It's a secluded landscape of rugged mountains, deer stalking, and absolute privacy. Sandringham House in Norfolk is their 19,000-acre private retreat, where the family famously spends Christmas. It is a working estate, a personal home inherited by the king, far from the tourist-packed halls of Buckingham Palace. Even their lesser homes are palaces. Kensington Palace, a 547-room complex, houses multiple royals. Prince William and Kate Middleton's modest home, Apartment 1A, is a 4-floor, 20-room private suite, showcasing a level of luxury unimaginable to anyone outside this royal bubble. The House of Windsor, which rebranded itself from the German House of Saxe-Coburg and Gotha in 1917, is the ultimate survivor. They have mastered the art of blending public duty with private opulence, tradition with modern corporate strategy. Their wealth is not simple. It's a complex, interwoven financial empire. They are funded by the state through a grant they themselves generate. They are enriched by private feudal-era estates that operate like modern corporations. They live in palaces they don't own, but completely control, all while holding billions in personal priceless treasures. Their wealth is not simple. It's a complex, interwoven financial empire. They are funded by the state through a grant they themselves generate. They are enriched by private feudal-era estates that operate like modern corporations. They live in palaces they don't own, but completely control, all while holding billions in personal priceless treasures. This financial fortress, built over centuries, is the true source of their power. The firm isn't just a nickname, it's a business model. It's a model that has ensured, through wars, scandals, and the fall of empires, that the House of Windsor remains the richest, most powerful, and most enduring royal family in the world.